In this video, we'll see about how we can achieve rollup summary functionality in a flow. So we can only create rollup summary fields if there is a master detail relationship exists. So in case of lookup relation, we can't create rollup summary fields. In order to do that, we need to customize. We need to write some custom code. So today we'll cover a scenario. In account object, I created a field called as number of contacts. So this is the field which I created, number of contacts, and basically it will show me the count of contacts under it. So for example, under this account, I have like 0 contacts, then my number of contacts should be 0. And if I add one contact under this account, number of contacts field in this account record should be 1. So in order to do that, we're going to create a record triggered flow. To create a record triggered flow, click on the settings icon, go to setup, search for flows, click on new flow, select record trigger flow, click on next, click on auto layout. Here we're going to choose the object where contact, and I'll just add a condition, a filter condition where account ID is null is false. That means I want all the contacts where account ID not equal to null, and my flow should fire whenever trigger the flow whenever a record is created and run the flow after the record is saved. Click on done. So now here I'm going to use a get element where I can get all the related contacts. I'll just name this as get related contacts, and the S object is contact. So I need to get all the contacts under that under a particular account. For that I'm going to use where account ID equal to the account ID coming from the dollar record. And I just want all records and automatically store all fields and click on done. So what we are getting is whenever I created a new contact, this flow will fire, and the contact and the account ID which I provided in that contact. So I'm just fetching all the contacts under that account ID. So for example, I just created an account called as test account. So I'm just creating a new contact called as test contact. Under this test account, I'm just creating a new contact called as test contact. Once I created, this flow will fire. And what I'm doing is I'm just getting all the contacts under this account. All the contacts under this account. So here we need to loop the contacts. So for that I'm going to use a loop element. I'll just name this as loop contacts. And here I need to select the collection variable, and if you want to specify direction you can specify here. As of now I don't require any direction here. And inside this loop I'm going to add an assignment activity to calculate the total number of contacts. And also I'm going to create a new variable here. So new resource of type variable to store the number of contacts under an account. I'll just name this as number of contacts, and the data type should be number, and it should not allow multiple values. The decimal value places is 0 and the default value is 0. For this variable I'm going to add 1 for each iteration. That's it. So basically what we are happening here is, consider I have an account. So under this account I have like 100 records, 100 contacts. So this loop will be executed 100 times, and what it does is, like, for each time it will increment the value by 1, so that we'll get number of contacts exact value. For example, if we have 100 contacts, the total number of contacts will be 100. And once we are storing the value in number of contacts resource, here I'm going to use an update element to update the account. I'll just name this as update account and specify conditions to identify set individually. So here we need to update the account here. So the object is account, and we need to add a condition here where ID equal to account ID coming from the $record dot account ID, and here we need to set the fields. I already created a custom field called as number of contacts, and for this I'm going to map this number of contacts and just click on done. So just save your flow. I'll just name this flow as calculate number of contacts on insert and click on save. Just activate your flow. Yeah, so now what I'll do is my flow is ready here. I'll just create a new account, name this as test rollup. I just created a new account, and also I'll create another account test rollup 2. So this is my, I created two accounts. Under this test rollup 2 record, what I'll do is I'll just add a contact. I'll just name this as testcon rollup 2 testcon. That's it, and just click on save. So once I created a contact here, under the detail page of account record, you can see here number of contacts has been updated to 1. That means one contact exists under this account. So I'm going to create another contact called as test contact 2. Click on save. I'll just go back to my detail page. Just do a refresh here. Go back to detail page again. You can see number of contacts has been updated to 2. So we are fine on create record creation. So here if we create another contact, number of contacts will be 2. So now what I'll do is, so I'll just update this testcon 2. I'll just update this testcon 2. I'll just update the account in testcon 2. So what exactly happens here is, so I'll just update to test rollup from account test rollup 2 to test rollup. I'm just updating from test rollup 2 to test rollup and just click on save. Now if I go back to this account again, test rollup 2 account, as of now there is only one contact. Why? Because we modified the account in other contact, but you can see here in the detail tab still the number of contact is only 2. Still the number of contact is only 2. That means it's not working in update. Why? Because we didn't fire, we are not firing the flow whenever a record is updated. So now we're going to write the logic for it as well. So there is one important point while updating. So basically what happening here is, so I have like two accounts. Test rollup is one account and test rollup 2 is other account. So I'm just changing this test contact from test rollup to test rollup 2. So that means test rollup 2 will be new version of the record and test rollup account will be old version of the record. So in creation, what we are doing in creation is we are just updating the new version of the record. We are just updating the new version account record. But in update, we need to update both the old version account record and new version account record. So that's we're gonna do in separate flow. So now I'll just go back to my flows, click on new flow. I'll just create another flow here to avoid confusion. I'll just select the record trigger flow, select auto layout, and here I'm gonna select a record is updated and after the record is saved, and I'll just choose an object. The object is nothing but the contact, and here I'm gonna check if account ID is changed is true. That means end user has updated the account account field in contact. That's it. So it's gonna be is changed and it's gonna be true. Just click on done. Now what we need to do here is, so the first thing is, as I mentioned, for example, in this test contact record, I'm updating the test rollup account to test rollup 2. So this will be the updated account and this will be the old account. So we need to update both the accounts here, the updated account and the old account as well. So in this flow, first thing is we're gonna, so in flow we have two things here. So dollar record will have the new version of the record and dollar prior will have old version of the record. So basically what it does means, for example, I'm updating the account field. So I'll just show you a demo here. So this is my account name, right? So now I'll try, this is my existing value test.rollup, and now I'll just update these values from test rollup to test rollup. So before value is test rollup, right? So now I'm just updating with test rollup 2. So in this scenario, what happens here is, so test rollup will be older version and test rollup 2 will be newer version. So this value is stored in record dollar record and this value is stored in dollar prior record. So we need to update both the accounts here. So for that, I'll just, what I'll do is, I'll just go back to this flow. I'll just add a plus icon and here I'm gonna get records. I'm gonna get contacts under the new record, under the new account. That means under the new account means under this test rollup to a new version of the record, I'm just getting all the records under this account. So the condition here is account ID equal to dollar record. The new version dollar record will hold the new version of the record. So that's the reason I'm just doing this and just click on done. So here I'm going to add another decision item to check contact exists under new account, and the outcome, first outcome is contacts exist, and here I'm gonna check with is null is false. So we need to do other thing here. So we need to get all the records here. So I'll just check this box, all records, and just click on done. So as usual, if there are contact exist, I'm gonna use a loop element here, the same procedure which we followed while creating the contact flow. So I'll just name this as loop contacts, and the collection variable is contacts from get record, get contacts under the new account, and just click on done. And for each I'm gonna add an assignment, and here I'll just say this calculate number of contacts under new account. So here I'm going to create a new resource of resource type as variable number of contacts under new account. The data type is number, should not allow multiple values, decimal places 0, default value is 0, click on done. And here we have to, for each loop we have to add a value of 1. That's it. Now here we need to update the new account. So I'm going to use an update records element, and I'll just update, name this as update new account, specify the conditions to identify records. Object here is account, where id equal to account id coming from this dollar record dot account id. That means it includes a new account id, and here we need to update number of contacts. Number of contacts is equal to number of contacts under new account. That's it, and click on done. Now it's all looking good. So now we are updating the new account. That means we are getting this, we are getting the id of this account which has been updated, and updating this account, and also we need to update this account as well. That means a contact has been decreased from this account, right? So that's the reason we need to update it. And also, so here we need to check one thing here. So while getting the contact records, for example, if there is no account ID exist under the if there is no account ID exist under a contact, right? So that means it gonna fetch all the contacts where account ID is null. So here we need to add another condition where account ID is null is false. That's it. So now similar step we need to do for old account as well. So now I'm gonna do one thing. I'll just add another get contacts under old account. Object is contact, and the first condition is account ID equal to, here instead of dollar record we need to use dollar record prior dot account ID, and account ID is null is false. So I need to get all the records. Click on done. So once I got, I'll just add a decision element. Check if contact exists under old account, and label is contact exist, and the resource is contacts from get and contacts under old record is null is false, and just click on done. So inside this I'll just add another loop element. Loop contacts under old account. So the collection variable is contacts from get contacts under old account, and click on done. Here I need to add another assignment activity. Just name this as calculate number of contacts under old account. So I'm going to create a new resource here of type variable number of contacts under old account. Data type is number, should not allow multiple values, decimal places is 0, and the default value is 0. Click on done, and here we need to add a value of 1 for each iteration, and click on done. So once this is done, we're gonna update the old account here as well. So for that, what I'll do is update old account and specify the conditions. Here the object is account, and here we need to filter the records. So I can filter account ID equal to the account ID coming from the dollar record prior, and the field which we need to update here is number of contacts. Number of contacts is equal to number of contacts under old account. Click on done. Now just click on save. So I'll just name this as calculate number of records on update. Calculate number of records under on update. And let's see what we named in the on update. Number of contacts on update. We'll populate the API name again. Yeah, now it's looking good. Just click on save. Just activate your flow. Just try to test this flow now. So what I'll do is I already added an account called as test rollup. So under this contact, there are no contacts under this account test rollup. I'll just create one contact under this. I'll just name this as test rollup 1 and click on save. Now if I go back to my detail page, so you can see here number of contacts has been updated to 1. So now what I'll do is I'll just add another contact, name this as test rollup 2 and just click on save and just try to access the detail pane. Let's do a refresh here. And go back to my detail page and see the field called as number of contacts. You can see the value should be updated with 2. Now it's updating the value. So what we need to do here is, so now I'll just open this test rollup to record and here I'll update the account ID. I'll update the account field in this contact and see if it's working now. Our update flow will fire. I'll just update this from test rollup to test rollup 2 and just click on save. So once I updated, I'll just go back to the account now and just do a refresh here. So you can see here the value will be updated. So as of now, there is only one contact as we modified other contact, and also you can see here the number of contacts is updated to 1. And similarly, if I go to this test rollup 2 account, under this there are 3 contacts, and if I go to detail page, the number of contacts value should be 3. Yeah, now it's looking fine, but I'll do one thing. What I'm gonna do is I'll just go back to my related page. I'll just delete this record. I'll just delete this record completely. Now my number of contacts should be updated with 0, but it will not happen. So you can see here after the record deletion, you can see my number of contact field showing me 1. So for that we need to fire the flow after the record is deleted as well. So now we're going to create a new flow again, and it's going to be a record trigger flow, but this time we need to run the flow. We need to trigger the flow when a record is deleted and click on done. And the object is going to be a contact, and the condition is same where account ID is null is false. And similar thing, it's going to be similar to the flow which we created for the insert. So we need to click on just add a get element here, get records element, where we need to get all the contact records. So I'll just add a get record element, name this as get related contacts. So as I said, like contact is my object, and here comes the twist. We need to get all the contacts where account ID equal to the ID coming from the dollar record dot account ID. And also we need to we need to ignore this record. We need to ignore this particular record. We don't want this. So this only adding this filter condition will get me all the contacts under that account. Here, as we are writing a flow, before the record is deleted, we may get this current record as well. So further, to avoid that, I'll just use this filter condition where id not equal to, we need to ignore the current dollar record, right? So that's the reason I'm just adding this statement. That's it. Now I just want all records automatically store all fields and click on done. And here I'll just add a loop element, name this as loop contacts, and the collection variable is contacts from get related records, first to last item. And inside this loop item, I'm going to add assignment element to calculate the number of contacts. And here I'm going to create a new resource of type variable, name this as number of contacts. As I said, the data type should be number. It should not allow multiple values. Decimal places is 0 and the default value is 0. And for each iteration, we need to add a value of 1 and click on done. So once the loop is executed, we need to update the account. So I'm going to use an update records element here. Name this as update account. Specify conditions to identify records and set fields individually. And here the object is account. You need to filter the records here where account ID equal to the account ID coming from the $record.id, $record.account ID. And we need to update this field called as number of contacts, where number of contact equal to the number of contacts resource which we are storing. Just click on save. I'll just name this as what we named calculate number of contact on update, right? So this is going to be delete on delete. Click on save. Now just activate your flow. So I'll do one thing here. I'll just create another account called as test delete. Click on save. I'll just create a new contact under this test delete con. Click on save. So once I created a new contact here, you can see here my number of contacts field should be updated to 1. Now what I'll do is I'm going to delete this contact. Just click on this drop down. Click on delete. Yes, now I deleted the record successfully. And you can see here number of contacts has been updated to 0.